Hey, this is Alison. Welcome to today's podcast. Today's guest interview is with Vina Howell. And the other day, she posted in the 0 to 100K Facebook group about her crazy awesome success. And so I knew I wanted to bring her on so that you could learn from her what she did. What was the thing that took one product, yes, just one product, over $20,000 in sales in 1 month, and what she did to get the product, how she was able to get it out to her product, and a few things that I learned as well. So get ready. We're going to dive in because she's going to teach us a lot about Etsy and how to keep things simple. So grateful that she came on to today's podcast because you're about to learn. Let's get started. Vina Howell, I am so grateful that you are here and to share your story. I've watched you post in the 0 to 100K Facebook group, and one of your posts, I really knew that I had to bring you on and talk about it. So what I want to do, will you just tell us a little bit about your story? I know you're obsessed with crafting supplies, so we can talk about that. And then just how you've been able to succeed, some of the good stuff, and of course, there's always some of the bad stuff. So take it away, Vina. It's all you.
Well, let's see. My background is actually in graphic design. And so when I first saw you come across my Facebook feed, the 0 to 100K system, I was very curious. I'm like, what is this? Maybe I can sell prints of my artwork. Maybe I can do something. But I was so excited to see it. And I watched the journey. For a while, I've been watching all of Alison J. Prince's stuff. And I was very curious about it. And so I took the plunge in September of 2018 while on bed rest with my fourth child. So we took that plunge, and it was scary because I was, at that point, I wasn't working, and I knew that it seemed like a lot of money, but at the same time, I knew that it would pay off in value. So I started the course. I went through it. I put my first products on a deal site that November, and I knew that there was something magical about this course and all of the information that I was going through. So that's where I originally started. And since then, fast forward to 2020, I guess, and we are in the middle of a pandemic.
Yep.
Husband lost his job at that point. I had an idea. I'd already built a store, was still kind of uncertain about my brand at that point, but I had an idea. And to me, at that moment, I wasn't sure if one of the deal sites would be the best option, but I was also looking at a place for handmade sellers, which is Etsy. And there they have, to me, it's kind of like a deal site in a way because it's not your own platform. Mm-hmm. They have the built-in traffic that a deal site would have, and you can put something out there fast without much risk. So this idea was totally different from anything that I was doing before, so I wasn't sure how it would fit on my actual website, so I put it on Etsy.
Okay, so did you build Shopify at all, or you just went straight to Etsy?
I actually did build a Shopify store. So during the holiday season, I sold on my Shopify store. We got a lot of very Christmas-specific sales. Mm-hmm. And sales really did slow down around, I guess, after Valentine's Day for that shop. So I didn't work with an influencer. Most of the traffic was organic. It was SEO and word of mouth, which got
so
traffic
cool
on my site. So it's a few $1,000s, but nothing like what I did on Etsy.
Okay, so that's what I want to know. Like, I am so excited because you dove into, you tried deal sites, you tried the Shopify store, and there's so many places you can sell online, and you just settled into Etsy. So spill it, Vina. We want to know all things Etsy. I've tried, and I just didn't really put any energy and effort into it because mine was over on the Shopify store. So talk to us about Etsy. Like, how does that whole process work?
So Etsy is a platform I'm pretty sure most people know about. It's a handmade platform. It started off as handmade. You can sell other things on there as long as it's supplies, or you can work with third-party suppliers. But you basically pay 20 cents to list an item. And once that 20 cents is paid, you're hoping that you get traffic. Now, a lot of people put things out there, but just like with any e-commerce site, you need to make sure your pictures are good. You want to make sure that people can see your pictures. Have in mind an avatar. Who are you selling to? So you don't want to ever just put something out there and just hope people find you. You know, it's not if you build it, they will come. Let's go find them. Let's find our perfect customer. So when I started, I put out, I actually started with a t-shirt. It was a t-shirt idea that I had. And I put it out there, but the thing that got me found wasn't putting it as a t-shirt. It was during the middle of a pandemic. People were supposedly only buying essential items. And, but I had two nieces and a nephew who were graduating from 2020, and then some very close friends who weren't going to be able to have their graduation ceremonies. Parents were sad, kids were sad, and I just wanted to do something to put a smile on their face. And with this idea, it was, okay, how can I get found? I want to offer something where people can go and get it. I knew that Etsy was still advertising. They were still on television advertisements, so they had a built-in traffic source. So once I did that, I put that out on Etsy, but I didn't put it as a t-shirt. It wasn't like, oh, cute graphic tee, come and find this t-shirt for seniors. No, it was graduation gift for her. So people were actually searching for a graduation gift for her. And I knew in my mind that if I just put it as a t-shirt, it would get lost in the crowd. So when people search graduation gift for her, that particular t-shirt popped up. So the first round people, I was excited. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I have about 10 sales on this. This is awesome. And then they started coming in like crazy. And I was optimizing my shop each day, making sure that my listing was right. What keywords are people looking for to find me? What can I put out there? So Etsy works a lot, whereas if you're constantly listing, so you don't have to have, a lot of people will try to put out 50 to 100 products. Honestly, Alison, I sold one product. And from my Shopify experience with putting out, I wanted to, on my Shopify site, I did bracelets. And I thought it would be the coolest thing. Hey, come put whatever you want on a bracelet and put your words here. And I found that was just too complicated for people. Most people wanted something, if they had to think about what they were going to put on the bracelet, they would click away.
Yeah. Make it easy for your customers.
I made it very easy to the point of I only sold one color in the beginning. One color, one shirt, and I put it out there to the customers, and people began to go crazy for this shirt.
And we're not just talking like one or two craziness.
No, we're not. We're talking about that one shirt in the month of May, netting $20,000 from one shirt. So it was.
Wait, can we just celebrate that for a moment? Can we celebrate that you're like, I don't want to have hundreds, 50 products, 10 products. I don't want to make this complicated. Let's make it easy. Celebrate that. Vina, like that is a superhero power. Because how many times are we distracted and like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And you're like, nope, shut it down. Let's do the one thing.
Which is very hard for me because I definitely have shiny object syndrome and I have journals full of ideas. But it was just, to me, I thought everybody's going through a crazy time right now. What is the simplest thing that I can do to put a smile on someone's face? How can I spread kindness in the world? And keep it as simple. I don't want to stress anyone out. The grocery stores were basically empty. People were trying to figure out, what are we going to do about graduation? What are we going to do about birthday parties? What are we going to do about this? So I wanted them to be able to come to a place. They didn't have to make a decision. They saw something cute and they could just buy it. So
okay, so now, that's so good. But can we talk about how you optimize your site? So the SEO, let's start with SEO first. How did you learn that someone was going to type that in? Instead of writing in t-shirts on Etsy, how did you know to type in graduation gift for her?
So Etsy does a great job of SEO and stats. So you're able to go in on the seller side and look at what keywords people are using to find you. So with it being a shirt that was for seniors, I put in graduation. And then I put in, okay, this could be a gift. What else could this be? Who is my perfect customer? What are they looking for? Okay, let's put in cute graphic tee. But what I noticed when I got the first 10 customers is those 10 customers were looking for, they put all the words together, graduation gift for her. So I would check the stats each day. Okay, is this something that's trending? So once I realized this is exactly what they're looking for, titles are important on Etsy. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure your titles are relevant. When people search, you don't want to, when people go to Etsy, they're looking for something in particular. Unlike Facebook, we're there to chat and see and catch up with friends. Well, when they go to Etsy, they already have their credit card out chances, or they're not just browsing, they're looking for that gift. So make sure that your title fits that gift so that people don't become frustrated looking for something. So graduation gift for her, that fell in that category. The first 10 sales came and those words were put together. So I went back through my listing and made the first title graduation gift for her. And then I thought, okay, is this for a college student or a high school student? Well, it could be for both, but let's go with college first. So then I added college graduation gift for her. Sales spiked again because people were coming in being very specific in what they were looking for. So they came, they did that. Once I was able to get the SEO, then I wanted to make sure the pictures were great. Okay, am I offering a quality product? So I didn't want, for me, quality is very important. So I wanted something that, this t-shirt is super soft. It's ring spun cotton. So those things became the next layer of what people were looking for. So that went in the description. This is a super soft shirt. And then once I started getting, not just me saying it, but my customers were reviewing it. And their thing was, oh, this is a quality shirt. It's screen printed. There's a lot of care that's gone into this. So I realized, okay, people are actually looking for something and not knocking vinyl. Vinyl's amazing to do a t-shirt with. But for me, I just wanted something screen printed and people were looking for. I actually got messages going, hey, are your shirts screen printed? Well, yes, they're screen printed. So I was able to add that to the description. So I basically gave people what they were looking for. And if I can back up for a second, Alison, I think it was Tony Robbins that I was listening to. And as an artist with shiny object syndrome and ideas floating around all the time, being in a handmade marketplace, a lot of times when we go in as artists, we want our product to sell. And sometimes we have to back up and figure out what our goal is. And so if I have the skills to make a product that people want, sometimes I have to let go of the product that I think will sell to give them something that they want. So if my goal at that moment is to make money for my family, then it's okay to, I'm not selling out as an artist or anything like that. It's okay to switch it up a little bit and do something different, do something that's trendy. And that's one of the things that you talk about a lot in the 0 to 100K, looking at the trends and following those trends. So I was able to put out something that was trendy, but that was quality and handmade at the same time.
And it still fit you as an artist.
And it still fit me as an artist.
It felt comfortable. So I actually wrote that quote down, let go of the product that you think will sell and sell what your customers are asking for.
Correct. And the customers will ask you. I mean, I've engaged, that's another thing that I really do like about the handmade marketplace, that customers are coming because you can interact with them and you can message back and forth. So I had customers asking for certain things. So we started off with that one shirt. And then I had a customer say, she's not really a senior. Could you put year on there? So then we did year 2020 be at the customer's request. And that shirt ended up selling a lot more. So I was really following my customers and what they were looking for during that time.
Okay. So you have one shirt, But how many listings did you create to be able to hit all those keywords? You talk about optimizing your listing. Did you just have, like, you go to Etsy right now, you click on someone's store. Did you have one listing or was it replicated multiple times?
I replicated the listing. So I started off with the one shirt and it was offered in dark heather gray. And I know a lot of sellers, because I knew I only had that one shirt and I wanted to build slowly so that I could have the money where I wasn't going too fast. And so that I wasn't overwhelmed by orders. I started off with one thing.
Yes.
And
Yes. Start small. That's the best place to start.
Start small so that when I needed to write the checks for 5 figures to get another screen printer to help me, it wasn't an issue because I had it in the bank. I didn't have to worry about credit. I started small. So that dark heather gray, I listed it as one color. And then I offered it in another color. So that one was black. So that was a second listing, but it's really the same shirt to get the listings up. And then after the black, we went with red, and I just listed each one. So many Etsy sellers, what they will do is they'll list the one thing, and then they'll put that in there, and they'll put, let's say if they offer it in 10 colors, they'll put all 10 colors in one listing. Well, I couldn't really do that at that point, but I wanted my store to look bigger and to offer more, but really it was just one shirt in multiple colors in multiple listings.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day and they were talking about, they were just looking into Etsy and they'd heard about how you replicate your listing and put different keywords. So what you talked about, the college graduation t-shirt for her, and then just the regular graduation t-shirt for her. And so did you listed those differently? That was the title?
I did. So each time, yes. So if you list them, if I was to just replicate, if I just replicated my listing, I would be competing against myself. So I didn't want to compete against myself. I wanted to be found when people search for other things. So the first listing was graduation gift for her. Second listing, college graduation gift for her. High school graduation gift, so that I'll come up when people begin to search or get very specific on that graduation gift. And then senior 2020, what else are people looking for? Let's see, coronavirus t-shirt, things like that. And I just tried it to see what would get me found at that point. What are people actually looking for? Also within that, within the Etsy algorithm, it's also very important to make sure that you don't compete against yourself with multiple listings. So let's say if I just wanted to do senior and just put senior out there and maybe do something that complements it. So we talk about upselling a lot. You talk about upselling a lot.
Heck
so
yeah.
I noticed that Etsy was upselling products for me.
Your own product?
My own products. They would say, hey, you just bought this listing. Would you like to add an additional listing? So I made a deal. So I went back and I optimized my shop again. If you purchase over $40, shipping is free. So then people weren't just buying one shirt, they were buying 2 shirts. So they would buy 2 shirts. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I can add a keychain to this. It's a $10 keychain. If they're already upselling for me, why don't I put out a keychain with a very similar design. And so all of a sudden now people aren't just buying a t-shirt, they're buying a t-shirt and throwing in the $10 keychain to give as a gift also.
That's so fabulous. That's so because on Amazon, if you list on Amazon, they actually show your competitors, right?
Correct.
And so it's so good to hear that Etsy actually shows the seller's products instead of your competitors.
Yes, they will. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom, there will be some competitors' products, but it's not saying, it will say you may be interested in this, but directly underneath when they've just clicked on it, it says, oh, have you checked out this listing in Vina Howell's shop? Or you can get both the t-shirt and the keychain for $34. Or if you add another $10 from this store, or you're only $10 away from free shipping from the Unleashed pin. So they help a lot with upselling because they are a marketplace and they want to make money too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, is there any way that you found to get your customers' emails from Etsy?
I do have you can see the customer's email, but I don't want to violate any policies by taking their emails and marketing to them. But because you are the seller, when you can include any type of packaging you want. So you can totally give them a concert experience on Etsy. You're allowed to put in a coupon for as much as you want. You can direct them back to your own personal site. So if you have a URL that's different from your Etsy shop, you can send them over there and they can do that. So there are ways to stay in contact and engage your customers. Or even if they bought from you before, Etsy has, just like with Shopify, you have coupon codes you can send out. Or if someone abandons the cart, then I was able to send them a 10% off coupon saying, hey, I noticed that you really like this shirt here. And I can personalize each one of those emails.
Perfect. So it's a violation to take the emails, but you can still have some type of contact with them.
Yes. You don't. And that's the downside of Etsy. I think it's great with the traffic built in, just like any other deal site. You have the traffic there. They've spent millions of dollars bringing people to you. Why not utilize that? But the downside is it's not your shop and you don't own that shop. So, and I have a story about that. The t-shirt that probably almost wasn't. I'm not sure if someone complained or what happened, but I did get an email from Etsy saying one of your listings has been deactivated. Someone found it insensitive that I had, that I mentioned the coronavirus. And so I took that out of my listing and made sure that I didn't violate anything, but they didn't want us capitalizing on a pandemic. So unfortunately, when you are on someone else's site, you get lumped into the crowd that was maybe selling hand sanitizer for way too much. That was price gouging. So you didn't want to. So I had to be very careful there too, and realize, okay, this is their site, and following the rules. So I think that's a big downside of having your things on a marketplace site.
Was it just one person that reported you? It's that, because there's I'm just saying it, there's jerks out there. Some competitors will come in and report you just to get you taken down. So do you know anything about that side of it?
I don't know. And I think kind of it may be bad practice to say, hey, so-and-so reported you, but they did.
For sure. Yeah, but do you know if Etsy says, it was one, we're going to wait until it does a couple or 3 or 4 or something like that?
No, sometimes it can be just one violation and you are allowed to dispute it.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure as fast as it happened, I can only assume that it was one person, but I don't know for sure. But I was able to make sure that I was able to go back on the site and remove that particular word from my listing. And then as the pandemic went on and more sellers were doing it, I noticed that it wasn't a thing anymore. That
people just got used to it.
They got used to it and they didn't care. So, and that was interesting too. I'm not sure why, but.
Well, you always have to have at least one hater to be legit, right?
Right.
So Vina, you're legit. You are way legit. Okay. So let's talk about, what's the name of your shop?
It is the Unleashed Pen.
The Unleashed PIN?
PEN.
PEN. Thank you for clarifying that. And does it still have the graduation shirts or have you expanded to other things?
It still has the graduation shirts. It has some keychains, but I knew that since that was such a seasonal product, that at the end of June when graduations ended, so I'm slowly converting it to it's more jewelry, still personalized things, but it's going in a different direction, gearing up for the holiday season. And still promoting it more as gifts, because even though the graduations have ended, people still have birthdays. So
yes, they do. So you want to hear some good news about the graduation? So over on How Does She, our blog, How Does She, graduation is year round. I'll say sometimes it goes down a little bit, but our top 5 posts of the year.
Wow, that's awesome.
So keep them up because I know people are looking. I don't know, a lot on Pinterest. They're finding us there, SEO, but people are still looking for graduation stuff year round. And of course, May, June, it peaks really high, but there's still people graduating.
Wow, that's awesome. I
Keep
didn't even think
going.
about that. I was in my mind, I was going, okay, well, when June ends, then I need to start just changing everything up. So keeping those things there because people do know to go there for the graduation things, and then adding other things that make sense in the shop slowly.
So you're going to add jewelry.
I am adding jewelry.
Are you adding those earrings that you have on right now?
These ones, yes, yes, I made those. So I will be adding those.
What are they made out of?
These are actually made out of walnut wood, and then I painted them with an iridescent paint.
They're amazing. I've got to get some.
Yeah.
Did you use a laser cutter? Is that how you do it?
I did. I do have a laser that I use for so many things.
All right.
Yes, way too many crafting supplies, Allison.
Well, I know what I'm doing after this podcast. I'm going over and getting some earrings. Okay, so let's talk about fulfillment. Right? The $20,000 is amazing until you're like, how do I even ship these products out? Can I even fulfill all these orders? We're in the middle of a pandemic and some of the shops are closed. So how did you deal with that mountain that you had to climb?
Well, I do have a Shipstation account, and I love my Shipstation account for that. As far as packaging, everything, Amazon was still open, so everything came off of Amazon. But Etsy also offers shipping. So when you go in your back end and you see your sales, you can get shipping from Etsy directly. And it's the same price as what I was paying Shipstation, which made it a whole lot easier because I could see all of my orders right there. I knew how many mediums, how many large, how many small I had to ship out, and I could do it within the click of a button. So I still had Shipstation open for other things. I love Shipstation. It just makes life easier.
It does. I love Shipstation too.
So then I used Etsy. I used their shipping, which at first I wasn't using it. For some reason, I just assumed it was more expensive. I already had the best idea. I was using Shipstation. And then one day I clicked and I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's the exact same price as Shipstation. I don't have to leave. I can print all of my labels directly from Etsy and then go from there. So I think Etsy's so good if you are starting out and you're on a bare bones budget and maybe you can't afford a Shipstation account right away, or the $29 for Shopify just seems like it's too much. It's a great place. I have 20 cents. Let me just put something out there and see if it works.
So it's just 20%. They don't take a percentage?
It's 20 cents to list. And then once your item sells, there is a 5% fee, and that's charged on shipping and on the item.
Okay.
And then it's another, if you use Etsy, their payments, Etsy payments, it's kind of like Shopify payments, then there's a 3% transaction fee plus 25 cents. So all in all, when I calculated it, I was paying about 9.8% in fees.
9.8%. Okay. And that, so like an influencer, you start around 10. And then deal sites depends on where you're at, 20 to 50%, right?
Right. So
good. Thank you for breaking those numbers down. That's so good, because you hear the 20 cents and you're like, that's great. Okay, right. What else? Like what else are we waiting for here?
Right. So, and I think it's important if you're on Etsy to really look at it as a deal site or as another marketplace where you can build your brand. I think it's a great starting point, but I think it's so important to work with the influencers and own your own stuff. So as a starting point, if everything else seems a little daunting or overwhelming, it's just a good place to start, because you don't have to build that perfect Shopify site. I know a lot of people stop because they can't get it perfect, which is so overrated anyway.
So yes, amen to that. Amen to that.
So it's just a good place to start. If you just want to test the waters, test out a product, see if someone likes it, see if it's a valuable product, and then you can move on from there. So
love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So let's talk about the shirts. So yes. Did you screen print in your house? How did you how do you feel? And you don't have to give, if you don't want to give your manufacturers or your wholesalers,
I'm
like,
going
don't
to
give that.
I'm going to give a shout out because I actually started with the shirts and I knew that I could sell them. I knew how to screen print. I'd done it before. And when the orders started coming in like crazy, I actually posted in the 0 to 100K group and said, hey, I need some help with this. And thank God to the most amazing vendor, May C, just came to my rescue. And we talked, and she just helped me out so much. And it's also because of May that I was able to raise my prices and sell even more shirts. I was so afraid of raising my prices, but I knew that if I had to start using someone, if I'm not doing it anymore, then of course I'm helping out another small business and paying them, but I also need a little bit more of a margin. So May came in, she was able to get the shirts out, and there were a few customers who were waiting on the shirts. She even shipped them directly for me, a few of them. She said, just tell me how many need to be shipped directly. So she was a complete lifesaver. So
yes, she is. Shirts. If she is. So in the show notes, I'll put a link to her store because you're wearing a Because I Can shirt right now. I'm wearing a Because I Can shirt right now. And May has done both of our shirts.
Yes.
May started a little over a year ago and didn't even make $1,000 in sales in her whole business. And now it's unbelievable. She is blowing the roof.
She's amazing.
Her goals.
Amazing story, amazing person. I'm just so grateful. Just like overwhelmingly grateful. So I started out with using May, and then in our area, so many businesses were closed. So I heard of another screen printer too who needed businesses. So then at that point, I had 2 people helping to print shirts, and I was able to give them business. And just at that point, I think I was their main customer for screen printing. So not only was I able to help my family, but I was helping someone else's family too. So
what a blessing. That's why you don't work for free. That's why you charge, so that the blessing just keeps getting passed down.
Yes,
keeps getting passed down. And yeah, I love the 0 to 100K group because I've seen that happen so many times when someone's like, hey, I need help with this, or hey, you want to promote this, or oh, who can help me screen print my shirts? Yes. And people step up. It's been such a blessing. So yay for May on that one. Okay, so let's say you've got someone that's thinking about Etsy.
Okay.
I'm just going to put you on the spot here.
Sure.
3 tips for having a successful listing, because we've heard many stories of, I put something on Etsy and it didn't happen. I tried Etsy and it didn't happen. So what are 3 tips for people who've tried Etsy before and they're like, I just don't know? What would 3 tips you'd give them?
Make sure follow the 0 to 100K system and use it for Etsy. But really, everything's so applicable. So make sure that you have great photos. Make sure you know who your ideal customer is. And then when you send them that product, put it in a yellow envelope. Give them a concert experience, something that they can go and tell other people about. Because
did you say yellow?
They can start off. Yeah, just don't. The little yellow manila envelope thing.
I thought you meant like a bright yellow envelope, and I'm like, okay.
No, please put it in that. No. Yes, one of the ugly colored envelopes.
The cheapest one you can find on Amazon or Uline.
Yes, no, don't do that. And so that customers can tell other customers, and you'll have word of mouth. So it's not just about SEO anymore. People are actually going to Etsy and looking for you. So if you can give them a great experience, they will come and look for your brand and your shop.
So if you are getting more reviews, you're probably shown more on Etsy. How are you encouraging your customers to give you reviews? What is the actual thing you're asking them, doing, telling, inserting, all that kind of stuff?
What I actually insert into each of my products is a thank you card. And the thank you card simply says, your order made our day. We hope we made yours. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Feel free to leave a review. and then it's my website at the bottom.
I
So
love
it's
it.
just
So
a
you're just
simple
being a
card.
human. You're just being a
Yes.
human and you're helping.
Yes.
So many times
And
in business, we go really weird and it's like this robotic thing. But all you're doing is treating them like a friend.
Absolutely. And their order really does. Each time I hear that cash register ring, so Etsy has the same cash register ring as Shopify. So
Cha-ching.
each time I hear that, it really does make my day. So I need them to know, hey, you really made my day. And I hope when I'm sending you does put a smile on your face.
Absolutely. That cha-ching feeling.
Yeah.
Cha-ching sound is a good sound.
Yes. So
Awesome. Well, we have been going for a little while and I want to respect your time. But Vina, you just opened up you just revealed so many answers and you did it in a really short amount of time. I think people listening, if you are listening to this, go back, take notes. And then I love what you say about, okay, we did it with a trending product. Now I'm looking for the next trending product. And then I think you're going to find something eventually that's going to be evergreen because those are the true winners, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's so good if you're not certain of what your product, of what you want to sell. I see that so many times. People are like, I don't know what I want to sell, but I do know I want to sell something. Just put something out there. So I think it's a lot less pressure than building a Shopify site. Just put something out there, see if it works, and eventually you will find your thing.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much for being. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Oh, one more thing, Kate. So people can find you. Sorry, people can find you on. Tell us your Etsy site one more time.
It's the Unleashed Pin.
The Unleashed Pin. Anywhere else they can find you? Do you have an Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram and Facebook are just me being me. They're personal. So if anybody wants to see cute pictures of my kids, you can follow me at Vina Howell on Instagram. But that was another reason too, because at the moment my social wasn't, I didn't have lots of followers. So I needed traffic without all the followers. So that's another reason why at that moment, Etsy was a great decision for me.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you.
Thank you so very much. I just appreciate this so much. And I appreciate you and the sacrifices that you made, the value that you bring to us. I've tried so many other courses where I paid money for them. And once I joined the Facebook group, I never saw the course creator again. Or if they did, then it was another, hey, pay another $1,400 and you can get the rest of our course. So just thank you for that. It's just amazing what you do and how you help change lives.
Well, you guys invest in me, so I'm showing up and I'm investing in you. Like I truly care about the success of my students. Like you telling me this fills my soul more than when I was selling 6 figures in a day on whatever product it was. But hearing the story and then you using May and then you blessing another shop, like that's the trickle effect. That is what makes me show up every day. It's because of stories like you. And that's why I wanted to start this podcast, is so that the hero that you are, your voice is being heard. It needs to be heard because you're the one making it happen. I'm the one just telling you what works.
You're telling us what works, and it does.
It does. It does. It does. I hope you loved that episode as much as I did, and it starts to open your mind to using Etsy, finding out if it's your right platform. So what I want to do is I want to give you the top 10 takeaways from Vina. So number 1, don't put it out there and hope people will just come. Number 2, make it easy on your customers. Number 3, one product can make you $20,000 in a month, and Vina just showed us how. Number 4, use the resources that the current platform you have is giving you so that you can make better decisions for your product. Number 5, titles. They're important. Make sure that they are relevant to your product. Number 6, study what's working. And maybe instead of buying a whole bunch of more product, focus on the one product. Study it. Figure out how you can sell it better. Number 7, layer in your description the words that your customers are using in the reviews. Number 8, let go of the product that you thought would sell and sell what your customers are actually looking for. Number 9, on Etsy, replicate your listings. And then number 10, you can add an upsell on Etsy to help you to push your customers to add that extra little bonus to the order. All right, get out there, go put money in your pocket where it belongs, and I will see you next week. Bye.